Welcome back, everybody. Two Brothers Off Script here. I'm Ryan.
I'm Jerry.
And today we're going to try and make you laugh.
It's important.
It's good to have laughter. Every once in a while there's a situation in life where you try to make someone laugh. You might tell them a joke that you think is funny and they just deadpan, nothing.
That does happen, and if you don't think we're funny, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen so you can find more things that we've said in the past and new videos when we upload them each week.
And definitely thumbs down and write a comment about how we're not funny.
Absolutely.
That way we can work on ourselves, and you know what, maybe you got a better joke than we can come up with. I was trying to tell a joke earlier, and I couldn't remember what the actual verbiage was, but I found a different one instead. I thought it was just as funny. And some people, men think, they think laterally, practically, and women think emotionally or something like that. So in this situation, it doesn't really have so much to do with that. But maybe the man's mind might get this better than a woman's mind. No offense, ladies. A wife asks her husband, "Could you please go shopping for me and buy 1 carton of milk? And if they have eggs, get 6. A short time later, the husband comes back with 6 cartons of milk. The wife asks him, "Why did you buy 6 cartons of milk?" He replies, "They had eggs." It's
good.
It's in a sense innocent, and it's completely practical because the verbiage is there. She asked him to do something, and he did it to the letter. Inference. You know, we have to infer things in life. You know, we believe something and therefore it's true, or we believe something and we attempt it and then we find out that it's not so funny. My example is not good for me as a quote-unquote adult, as we will talk about in another episode. I have always enjoyed making people laugh, and I try to keep people on their toes, but at the same time keep the situation light at work. And in this instance, I invaded someone's bubble and scared them. And in that sense,
How scared were they? Was there a
there was a
shriek?
fear. No, I think it was probably caught in their throat. You know, like the fear was real. I could tell, and then the realization that there was no real threat made the person, the adrenaline flood turned to anger, and the anger turned to an explosion of motion that in turn created a mess and caused several people to wonder what's wrong with this guy, because they weren't paying attention to the whole exchange. And I felt like a big old doofus in doing that, because I was just basically trying to play a practical joke that shouldn't have ever happened.
Did anybody think it was funny?
No. And I had to spend several minutes apologizing to this person, and
Who had to clean up the mess?
well, he cleaned it up himself. It wasn't a big mess, but it was, you know, I make peanuts, the packing peanuts and stuff, so they were a little bit everywhere. But it was just a misunderstanding. Like, I thought I was doing something funny, and it wasn't funny. And you know, you have experiences like that.
Yeah, so I have absolutely failed at practical jokes. You know, I don't know, I feel like it's common, but when I was a teenager, I worked for Hollywood Video back when they still had videos in stores that you could go get before Netflix. And I was closing up. I was there with, I believe, a gal, her name was Amanda, and we were just closing up, and I was, hey,
Yeah.
and I'm just, being dumb,
Young and dumb,
and
I'm gonna get you.
I said, I'm gonna get you, she was much better wisecracks than I was. She made some joke about how I looked or something. I'm like, I'm gonna get you. And I reached out to push on her shoulder, and she flinched, except she had a box knife in her hand, and she had been opening some packages, and she flinched like this. And that box knife cut open 1.5 inches on the back of my hand, and it did it real quick, easy like butter. And I looked down, and I'm wounded. There's a hole. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. You know, I mean, it was real, and I think the fun was gone in that moment, and yet it came out of this idea like, oh, I'm going to do something funny. And I think there's so many times where we do that, where we see this opportunity to startle somebody or scare somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't go right. Now, I will say, my children have been some of my greatest experiments in startling
Oh,
them
absolutely.
and getting them from around the corner and popping out from windows and
Gravity
under
does
blankets.
not apply to children, I think, is something that they might have a fear of for a period of time in their life as they are yanked off of their feet and thrown into the air. Unbeknownst to them, it's like, suddenly there is no more atmosphere on this planet.
It's great.
I do that to my kid. I snatch him up and toss him when he's playing with a block or something like that.
In a fun way.
Yeah.
Okay, in a fun way.
By the ankles.
Don't get all bent out of shape.
Go ahead.
Babies
Write
bounce.
it down. Leave it in the comments
babies
section.
bounce.
Let us know what happens.
You can make more babies.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Playing with your kids is probably where it all comes from, because as a child myself, I didn't really. I think we wrestled. You know, we wrestled each other. Wrestled
for sure.
Dad. We got disciplined. There was fun and games, and
We
then there
broke
was
a
also
lot of
consequences.
We broke a lot of things.
Broomsticks, stick fights
Into the wall. One time I shoved Ryan.
Yeah, go through the
and
drywall.
he went into the drywall.
Yeah, that'll be this.
Broke several lamps.
Here's a fun joke that we didn't get to share with anybody purposefully. I came in to the studio and we had about 10 pairs of
Grandma's underwear.
ladies' underwear, Hanes. I mean, they looked clean.
They were very large.
Stapled up. I mean, don't say large because not everybody's. That might not be large for some people. I don't know. They were relatively large underwear,
stapled to the wall.
stapled to the wall. Like who does that? Is it a joke?
Turns out my wife and my sister. So you know what? Sometimes you're going to tell a joke and it's not always going to be as funny as you want it to be.
Yeah.
And
Listen to a kid tell knock jokes for 8 minutes that don't make any sense.
you know what? Shake it off. Shake it off. It's okay. I kind of have a theory that, and I'm saying this, I have no idea if this is true. I have this theory that dads, in a way, play rough with their kids it's like this generational kind of behavior.
Yeah.
To try to almost toughen them up a little bit, right? Like, hey, if you're getting mauled by a bear, I feel like I remember my dad saying, "You're going to get mauled by a bear, right? Roll out." Is what I remember him
Turn
saying.
into a ball, and
I don't remember if it was we were practicing for wrestling training or what it was, but he used to say, you're going to get mauled by a bear, and you got to roll out, you got to get out. And I found myself over the last probably 2 years, I've found myself doing that with even all my kids, practicing this idea of, hey, get out of the way. I don't know why kids will just lay there, like you're tickling them, and they'll just lay there.
like there's no fight instinct in him yet. I think
You gotta put the fight into
my
them.
kid. I don't know if it's gonna be a problem. My kid will literally grab me by the neck and just try. I don't know if it doesn't hurt, but maybe later on this might be a problem.
He's gonna get a little bit older.
Dad jokes. Whenever the cashier at the grocery store asks my dad if he'd like the milk in a bag, he replies, "No, just leave it in the carton." A dad joke is something that's pretty common. If you ask my wife, that's all I've got left in the tank. It's just dad jokes, and it's. I don't think it's really a put down. I think that as a dad, you have to pick your humor. You really can't just be like dirty joke, or your kids are going to be around. They're going to hear it. The things that they're going to repeat. The way you speak in private can affect how you speak in public. I mean, when I always talk about it hey, when you go into grandma's house, you don't talk like that anymore, and censoring yourself, choosing the right words to say, know your audience in a sense. Like, just try not to be, don't be you all the time.
Have a little bit of self-control.
Yeah.
I guess I would say, like, I think too there's the other end of the spectrum, right? Which, like, you can go too, certainly you could go too far, right? I ended up with, cut, and you ended up startling a guy, and nobody thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But I think you can go the other way too, where, like, yeah, sure, if you're trying to joke around, you take the risk, sometimes your jokes fail. If you never joke with anybody, man, you got a boring life.
Yep.
Right? Like, there is funny things that happen in life. Sometimes they come out of tragedy. Sometimes they come out of bad situations. Sometimes it just weird stuff happens.
I got punched in the nose walking up behind somebody. That's the best one. That's probably my most violent boy-girl, young age interaction at school. I came up behind this girl. Hannah was her name. No relation, obviously. I grabbed her from behind, and this was somebody I played around with, when boys and girls could interact with each other without there being any problems.
Yeah.
Middle of winter.
Back before you had to, like, file a report.
Yeah, I had braces, and you never think that this is possible, but it does happen where your body's reaction to a situation can be quite violent, even if it's not meant to be. And I grabbed her from behind, and she threw up her hand, did the old, what is it,
I don't know,
the sweet tea, bust him in the nuts thing. So she caught me right in the lip and, like, stuck my lips to my braces, and I had to, like, pull my lips off. And then I went middle of winter, I had a bloody trail all through the playground all the way back to the nurse's station. It was pretty bad. So that just reminded me of that. But
so you said that was the best story. That was a horrible story.
Bad story.
The best bad story.
Best bad story that happened as a child.
You win. For sure.
Never a competition.
No, you win. Like, that sucks.
That was pretty bad.
I think that it goes wrong enough that sometimes people just give up. And my hope is for my kids and my life is that I don't give up on that sense of joy. I don't give up on that sense of having fun. Even if it's startling somebody. I got my wife so good about 2 weeks ago. I just happened to be coming home late from work. It was kind of dark, and I was walking up towards the door. I had stopped to get her something from the store, and I happened to see her, like, walking towards the door. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, I just kind of stood there and waited to see if she was going to open it, because that's not normally something she did. As soon as she opened the door, I was like, "Ah!" Now,
in a public place?
No, this is at our house. This is our front door. This is literally 10 feet from here.
Running into Safeway together or something.
And, and this happened, and my wife was so startled that she shrieked. She did the, ah! It was like, I'm about to die. I'm making this one last noise in hopes that the predator has sensitive hearing, right?
I'm officially not allowed to scare my wife.
I startled her so good, and we both laughed.
Yeah.
And even when she hit me...
Oh, yeah, that's after
I'm going to get hit, right? Even when she hit me, and I deserved it, I was so proud of myself. And I just had a grin from ear to ear because I had got her that good. So I will say, don't give up on the joy of finding small things that are fun in life and just loving it, right? And yeah, sometimes it's going to go bad. You hope nobody gets hurt, but stick with it. What do you got to close out?
All right, guys. The last one I'll leave you with is, what does a clam do on its birthday?
What does a clam do on its birthday?
Celebrate.
Holy crap.
That's terrible.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share our videos if you like what we're doing. Have a great week.
Laugh sometimes.